It's 3 in the morning. The world is silent. You're asleep. A sound pulls you awake. A tiny click. Maybe a sliding door. Or a footstep in the hall. Your eyes open, but you don't move. You listen. Your heart pounds in your ears. You tell yourself it's nothing. The house is old. Just the fridge. But your body knows better. Your skin feels cold. Slowly, you turn your head. You see him. A shadow in your doorway. He isn't moving. He's watching. He's already inside. He's been there. Before you can even breathe, a bright light slams into your face. A flashlight. You can't see. A calm, quiet voice comes from the light. Don't look at me. Turn over. Do exactly what I say. Then the promise. If you do anything stupid, I will kill everyone in this house. This is not a movie. This happened to more than 50 people. For 12, the man behind the light kept his promise. This is his story. But to understand the monster, we start with the boy. A boy named Joseph. Joseph was born in 1945. His childhood was rough. His father was in the army, and the family moved often. As a child, he was exposed to violence. A relative later said he saw his sister being assaulted. His sister also said their father abused her. These experiences left deep scars. As a teenager, Joseph showed warning signs. He hurt animals, broke into homes, and stole items. A damaged boy was becoming a dangerous man. When he was about 18 or 19 years old, Joseph joined the Navy and served during the Vietnam War. After returning home, he went to college and studied police science. He wanted to become a police officer. In 1973, he joined the police force in the town of Exeter. That same year, he married a woman named Sharon, who was studying law. From the outside, his life looked normal. A job, a wife, a future. But beneath it, something darker was growing. Around this time, homes in the area were being broken into, not just to steal, but to do strange and disturbing things. Shoes were unlaced, single earrings were taken, dishes were stacked on beds. The burglar became known as the Visalia Ransacker. Police couldn't catch him. Joseph was on the force during these crimes. Many now believe he wasn't chasing the suspect. He was the suspect. This was practice. In 1975, the crimes escalated. During an attempted kidnapping, a father tried to stop Joseph. Joseph shot and killed him in front of his daughter. This was his first known murder.
Wake up, please, wake up! No, don't leave me. Breathe, just breathe
Soon
for me.
after, Joseph and Sharon moved north to the Sacramento area. He took a new police job in Auburn. The Visalia Ransacker crimes stopped, but the violence didn't end. It was about to take a darker turn. In the Sacramento suburbs, women living alone began to sense something was wrong. Windows were unlocked, screens were cut, objects were moved. It felt like someone had been inside. He watched houses for days, sometimes weeks, learning routines. On June 18, 1976, he struck. A woman in Rancho Cordova woke to a man with a knife. He tied her, blindfolded her, spoke calmly, raped her, stole small items, and vanished.
Do exactly what I say.
Police believed it was a single, terrible crime. They were wrong. 2 weeks later, it happened again. Same method, same calm control, then again. And again. The attacks spread across Sacramento every few weeks. The media named him the East Area Rapist. Fear took over. People locked windows, bought dogs, slept with weapons. He felt everywhere at once, always close, always unseen. He changed tactics. He began attacking couples. He broke in and tied the man first, stacking dishes on his back. He whispered that if the plates moved, he would kill the woman. Then he took her to another room. The man lay helpless, listening. Afterward, the attacker stayed. He ate their food, drank their
This is
beer.
the life, isn't it? You two are so quiet. Having fun? Best seats in the house. These are good chips.
He was
Have
never
some.
rushed. He controlled everything. Joseph kept tormenting them. Months later, he called victims and whispered, "Remember me?" Sometimes he just breathed. He wanted fear to last. He mailed a poem to a newspaper, bragging. He mocked police on the phone. He listened to police radios and stayed ahead of them. He wasn't guessing. He was trained. He was using his police knowledge against everyone. In 1979, his police career ended suddenly. He was caught shoplifting a hammer and dog repellent from a store. It was a small, embarrassing crime.
You're
He was
dismissed from the
fired.
force. Hand over your badge and equipment. Effective immediately.
Around the same time, the rapes in Sacramento stopped. People hoped he was gone for good. He wasn't. He had moved south, and what came next would be far worse. In December 1979, a young couple in Goleta was found murdered in their home. They were tied up. Dishes were stacked on the man's back. This time, they were shot. The pattern was the same, but the crime had escalated. This marked the start of a murder spree in Southern California. The attacker now killed after assaulting his victims. The murders were spread out across counties and years. Police departments failed to connect them to the earlier rapes. At least 10 people were killed. The last known victim was in 1986. An 18-year-old girl named Janelle was home alone in Irvine. She was raped and beaten to death.
Do exactly as I say or I will kill you.
Time of death? Sometime last night.
After that, the attack stopped. The killer disappeared. Joseph's life appeared normal. He became a truck mechanic and worked at a warehouse for 27 years. He and Sharon had 3 daughters. They divorced in 1991, but he stayed involved with his children. Neighbors described him as angry and unstable. He screamed at neighbors and threatened violence over small issues. No one suspected the truth. For decades, the case went cold, but a few detectives never let it go. In the early 2000s, DNA testing improved. Evidence from old crime scenes proved the rapist and the murderer were the same man. He was finally given one name, the Golden State Killer.
The suspect is now officially identified and the case has a name. We are calling him the Golden State Killer.
Police now had his DNA, but they still had no name to match it to. The breakthrough came from a new tool called genetic genealogy. In 2018, police uploaded the killer's DNA to a public genealogy website. They were not searching for him directly. They were looking for relatives. The DNA matched a distant family member, likely a 3rd or 4th cousin. That single match allowed investigators to begin building a family tree. Using public records, investigators built the family tree branch by branch. They searched for a man born in the 1940s who lived in California during the crimes. They looked for military or police history. One name kept rising to the top: Joseph DeAngelo.
To a single person.
Our main suspect is Joseph DeAngelo, the Golden State Killer.
He was 72 years old, a former police officer, living quietly in Citrus Heights. Police placed DeAngelo under surveillance. They watched him leave an ordinary retired life. To collect his DNA without alerting him, they followed him to a store. After he left his car, an investigator swabbed the driver's door handle. The sample contained skin cells. Still, police wanted confirmation, so they waited for another chance. A few days later, detectives collected D'Angelo's trash from the curb. Inside, they found a used tissue. The DNA matched the crime scene evidence perfectly. After more than 40 years, the mystery was solved. The Golden State Killer was Joseph D'Angelo, a retired mechanic and former police officer. On April 24, 2018, police made their move. D'Angelo was outside his home in Citrus Heights. Officers surrounded him in his driveway. He looked confused. He did not resist. As he was handcuffed, he calmly said,
I have a chicken roast in the oven.
After decades of terror, the arrest was quiet and fast. The man who haunted California was finally caught. Inside his house, police found disturbing items: jewelry, coins, class rings, small objects taken from victims decades earlier. He had kept them all. In jail, the man who once whispered threats stayed silent. He asked for a lawyer and said nothing more. There would be no dramatic confession, just evidence, time, and the weight of what he had done. In 2020, D'Angelo accepted a plea deal. He pleaded guilty to 13 murders. Many rape charges could not be tried due to old laws, but he was forced to admit them in court. Survivors and families watched through video screens. The judge read each charge slowly. For every murder, D'Angelo softly said one word: guilty. When asked about the rape charges, he said, I admit. That was the closest he ever came to explaining his crimes. By pleading guilty, he avoided the death penalty. He was sentenced to life in prison with no chance of release. The man who once controlled others would now live the rest of his life controlled by prison walls. Before sentencing, survivors spoke in court. For 3 days, they faced him. One woman described being attacked while her young child was in the house. She said her only thought was where he had put her child. The fear for her child never left her. The courtroom listened in silence as survivors reclaimed their voices. Another survivor described being attacked in 1978. She said he tied her up, raped her, and then went to her kitchen. He ate food from her fridge and drank beer while she lay bound. For years after, she suffered panic attacks. Even small things, like seeing duct tape, sent her into fear. The trauma followed her for decades. One survivor was only 13 years old when she was attacked. She said he stole her childhood in one night. She ran to her father with her hands still tied behind her back. She said it was the first time she ever saw her father cry. Another survivor told him in court, "You will not defeat me. You will not break me." Why he did it remains unclear. His childhood was full of violence and instability. Before his marriage, he was engaged to a woman named Bonnie. That relationship ended badly. He became controlling and threatened her with a gun. During one attack years later, he cried into a victim's pillow, repeating Bonnie's name. Some believe this rage never left him. Still, heartbreak alone does not explain the scale of his crimes. D'Angelo needed control. He used his police training to outthink law enforcement. He enjoyed the fear he caused. For years, he lived 2 lives at once: a husband, a father, a mechanic, and a man who hunted people in the dark while the world slept. During the hearings, D'Angelo sat in a wheelchair wearing an orange jail uniform. He showed almost no emotion. At the very end, he stood up and spoke. He said he had listened to every statement and was sorry for the pain he caused. Many felt the apology was empty, coming after decades of silence. His own family learned the truth only after his arrest. His daughters said they believed he was a good father. His wife trusted his excuses for being gone at night. They lived beside a man they never truly knew. When he was exposed, their lives shattered too. They were victims in a different way. Co-workers said he was quiet and distant. He showed little emotion. He fixed engines, followed routines, and went home like everyone else, all while hiding decades of violence. His ability to separate his crimes from daily life made him terrifyingly normal. This story shows how evil can hide in plain sight. Different police departments failed to connect the crimes for years. Clues were missed, warnings ignored. But it also shows persistence. Detectives kept boxes of files for decades. Survivors kept going with their lives. In the end, patience and science succeeded where fear and chaos once ruled. His case changed police work forever. He became the first major criminal caught using genetic genealogy. After his arrest, this method helped solve hundreds of old cases. It proved that even decades later, killers could still be found. But it also raised serious questions. Should police be allowed to use family DNA from public websites? The debate continues, but for victims, justice mattered more. The legacy of this case is complicated. Justice came, but very late. Some families felt relief. Others felt only anger. One survivor had the final word.
I am free to leave this courtroom and live my life. You will spend the rest of yours locked away.
In that moment, the power shifted. After decades, he no longer controlled anything. She did. Joseph DeAngelo is now imprisoned at Corcoran State Prison. He will never be released. For survivors, strange sounds at night may always cause fear. Shadows may never feel harmless, but they also know the man who haunted them is locked away. He has a name, a face, and a cell. After 40 years, the darkness finally ended. In your own home tonight, you are safe. The man from this story is gone. That doesn't mean the world is harmless, but it does mean one source of terror no longer exists. Courage outlasted fear. Persistence outlasted time. That matters. Joseph DeAngelo is now just a number in prison. Guards control his days. His meals are scheduled. His movements are restricted. A man who lived for control lost it completely. There is justice in that balance. The hunter became the one hunted.